So let's continue from tomorrow. Oh, sorry, sorry for yesterday class. Okay. So what we have discussed yesterday, we have discussed this topology. We configured EBGP. We configured IBGP, indirect BGP neighborship. So what is indirect neighborship? What are the things we need to configure? Why we need update source loopback zero? Everything we discussed, right? Till three states: ideal, connect, active. So we discussed simple like ideal, connect, active. So these three states you will see during three-way handshake process. BGP uses TCP, right? Which port number it is? Can anyone tell?
179.
179.
179.
Very good, very good. So it should complete a
Application
three-way
layer
hand.
179.
It should complete a three-way handshake process first. Then only it will start advertising the BGP. So now three-way handshake process successfully completed. It means ideal. It moved from connect to open send state now. So in open send state, it starts sending a BGP open message. So this is the BGP open message. You can see, right, version like OSPF hello packet, right? It's same BGP open message. What are the fields are in BGP open message? Version, autonomous system number, hold timer, right? BGP identifier, optional parameter. So these parameters are very important. These parameters contains BGP authentication type and data and all. Okay, there are a lot of parameters in BGP. So why BGP is not having another version? We have only BGP version 4. We don't have any other version of BGP. Why? Because the entire world already established with internet. If they want to change the BGP version, the entire world will lose the internet access. Okay, that's why they're just keeping the version as same, and they're just adding the parameters. They're just developing the parameters, and yes, based on our usage, we are configuring the parameters. Okay, so it both the routers will exchange the BGP open message. So whatever configuration you did, right, that should be matched on the both the routers. Okay, like optional parameters, BGP identifier, it means is a router ID. BGP identifier is a router ID of the router. Okay, it should be unique. Okay, whole timer values can be negotiated, and autonomous system number, whatever you configure on the both ends, right? You have to. Yesterday I tried to configured the wrong autonomous system number, so you see, right, BGP was flapping continuously. Yeah, that's it. So this is a version. Okay, this all parameters should be matched. Once the all parameters are matched, right, then it will move to the open confirm state. Okay, it will move to open confirm state. This is connect state, and this is active state. This is open send state, and then this is open confirm. Open confirm means whatever the parameters, whatever the configuration, right? Both the routers is the bidirectional transactions. R1 will send a BGP open message to R3. R3, R3 router will send a BGP open message to R1. Both the routers will exchange a BGP open messages, and whatever the configuration you did, right? That configuration should be matched. Once it is matched, right, it will move to the open confirm state. In open confirm state, they will start exchanging the keep alive. So it means here in open send state, this will send a BGP open message to R3, and immediately it will move to the open confirm. And R3, what it will do? It will accept the BGP open message, and everything is accepted, and start sending a keep alive. Keep alive in the sense like, what is keep alive? You are my neighbor. So in OSPF, there is an active neighbor field, right? To recognize the neighbor. Here it will send a keep alive message. If it receives a keep alive, right, from the neighbors, it discover the neighbor. So this is full state. Next state is full state. Upon receiving the keep alive, right, then it will move to the full state. Full state, the neighbors are discovered here. Full state, neighbors are discovered. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Neighbors are discovered and routers start exchanging the routes. Router starts exchanging the routes through update message. Through update message. So same like OSPF. So first neighbors will discover, they will exchange the routes, right? So in a OSPF we have a link state request update messages, right? Similarly here we have a update message. So how many BGP messages we have? I told you,
Five.
right?
Four.
Four. What are
Open
those?
message, TPLF message, update message,
Yes.
notification messages.
Yes. So we have four messages, and if you see here, right? Open message, keep alive message, update message, notification message. Open message is to negotiate the transactions to discover the neighbor. Once open message parameters are matched, right? Both the routers will start exchanging keep alive. Once both are exchanging keep alive, they'll discover the neighbors and they'll exchange the update message. In the update message, there are the routes. Whatever the routes you are advertising, right? By using network and mask, right? Whatever the routes you are advertising by using network and mask, those routes will be attached in this update message. And notification message is like if the BGP, in case if the BGP neighbors goes down, it will throw an error. It will show a notification, hey, BGP is down. It will notify to the other neighbor. Suppose R1 to R3, some connection is down, right? Here it is having a hold time value of 180 seconds. After 180 seconds, what it will do? Both the routers will generate a notification and send to each and every routers, hey, BGP neighbor is down due to hold time value. Okay. So notification message just will tell you why BGP is went down. So there are a lot of error codes, authentication mismatch. There are a lot of things. Okay. Here you see notification message. This is a notification message. Okay. So the major fields of BGP notification message are error code, error subcode. Okay. So yeah, error code and error subcode like this. Okay. Fine. Now keep alive message. It just maintains the. It's like a heartbeats. Okay. Both the routers keep on exchanging the keep alives so that they will consider themselves as a neighbors. So if the keep alives are not receiving for 180 seconds, then only the message will be generated and sent across. Okay. Yeah, these are the OSPF adjacency process and the states and the explanation. Do you have any questions on the states? So what I
No,
can
sir.
do? Yeah, what is that? Someone is having any questions? Okay. So these states I'm going to post it in group. Just check it. Okay. Okay. And any questions on states? If you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, we can move to the eBGP configuration and the BGP rules, regulations, and lot of things need to discuss. Any questions?
Clear enough. No.
Okay. So I am going to delete this all. Okay. Perfect. So yesterday I told you to configure a what is that? I told you to configure a BGP between R3 to R5. So I'm not sure whether you guys are configured or not. Let's see. So R5, I don't see any configuration in R5. Okay. Show IP interface brief. Okay, let's configure in Airtel router. Okay. So config, let it be R5 only. Okay, interface G 1/0 IP address 192.168.35.5. Okay. So now we'll try to initiate a ping. Okay. Interface loopback 0 and IP address. What is the IP address is 5.5.5.5 255 255 255 255. So IP addresses are configured here. And now BGP, a router BGP. What is autonomous system number at 300? What is the neighbor here? Hello. What is the neighbor? 192.168.35.3, right?
35.3.
3, right?
Three, three,
3. And what is the remote AS?
200.
200.
Very good. Remote AS is 200. And now network 192.168.35.0 mask. Okay. Another network. What is that? 5.5.5.
Outside.
Mask.
Mask command line.
Okay. That's it. I am saving the config. I'm suspecting here R3 also I need to configure, right? So show IP interface brief, show IP interface brief. Yeah, I need to configure G1/0 35.3. Okay, 35.3. Okay, router BGP 200, neighbor 192.168.35.5. What is the remote AS?
300.
300.
That's it. Here you no need to advertise 35.0 network because it's already in 35.0 is already in what is that?
R5.
R5. Okay. Now if you see right, do show BGP summary. So BGP is updated. Okay. So now R3 is having BGP neighbors 1.1.1 35.5. But if you see right, we don't have any BGP neighborship with 2.2.2. Understood? Right? So it
Yes.
is
Yes,
this
sir.
is not a BGP router. This is a OSPF router only. Okay. Understood? Now,
Yes.
this is a issue here. So in previous, okay, now I'm going to explain you very, very, very important information, which it is not at all available in internet. It is available, but you cannot understand. Okay, please concentrate. So now the thing is BGP issues and BGP questions. Okay, first BGP synchronization rule. What is BGP synchronization rule? So in internet you will get an answer like if any EBGP route is received, that EBGP route also should learn via IGP protocol. Do you understand this statement?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, what is that?
No, no.
Any yeah, right? No, it's difficult to understand, right? If
Can you
suppose,
can you repeat it, sir?
yeah,
Can you repeat it?
if you receive, so R1 is a IBGP router, okay? Is the in IBGP router, if it receives any EBGP route, like this is the EBGP route, okay? EBGP route. So in OSPF you have link state ID and advertise router, right? Here also we have a route along with next hop. Next hop. What do you mean by next hop? Which peer it is advertising? Okay. So if this 4.4.4 by received by R1 router, and what is the next hop for this 4.4.4?
14.1.
Sorry, 14 dot?
14.1.
No, it's received R1. It is R1 is receiving from R4, right? Next hop in the sense,
Next router.
not next router. That is the wrong assumption. Please understand. In BGP, next hop means neighbor, BGP neighbor. Very, very important. Next hop means BGP neighbor IP.
అంటే 1.1.1 అన్న.
Protocol address you need to call. Now, for R1, what is the BGP neighbor here? For R1 1.1.1, right? For R1, who is the neighbor? R4, right? What is the neighbor IP of R1? It's 14.4. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, yeah, got it.
Okay. Suppose my name is Ramesh. I'm connected to the Prudvi. So my neighbor is Prudvi. Prudvi is advertising the route. So for this route, who is the next stop? Where exactly it is coming from? From Prudvi, right? So whatever the IP address I mentioned to Prudvi, that is the next stop. Now for R1, it this R1 is receiving a route from R4. Okay, so it's a 4.4.4, and where exactly it is receiving? It is receiving from R4. So what is the R1 neighbor IP? This is a 14.4. This peer it is advertising, right? 192.168.14.4. Is it clear, guys?
Yes అన్న.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, this is very important. You need to understand for every BGP route or IBGP route, whatever it is. Okay, every BGP route, what are the content it is having? IP address along with next hop value. There are a lot of things it will carry. Those we call attributes. I'll tell you one by one. But this is mandatory at the moment. Okay. Okay. Now the uh, the definition of BGP synchronization rule is whatever the route you received, right? BGP route, EBGP route. Okay. The EBGP route has been received on R1 router, and what this route, right, this 4.4.4 also should learn via OSPF IGP protocol. Here IGP protocol is OSPF. You have to learn via OSPF also. That is called BGP synchronization rule. It means it's a BGP route should sync with OSPF. Okay, BGP route should sync with OSPF. Why? Because suppose if you see, right, you want to reach the 5.5.5 here. From R4 to R5 you need to reach. Now you tell me, you initiated a ping 5.5.5 here. Okay. Now tell me what is the source IP here? 192.168.14.4.
14.4.
Okay. What is the destination IP here?
5.5.
Yes. Right. 5.5.5. Now the packet arrives on R1 router. Okay. So what is the destination? Now R1 router will check the 5.5.5. 5.5.5 is there in routing table because the BGP route, right? It came from here. So 5.5.5 is there in routing table. It will come here. It will advertise into entire BGP routing table. That's okay. Now to reach 5.5.5, you have only one path. So it will check in IGP path, right? So how to reach? So for 5.5.5, right? There is a it received 5.5.5 here. Where is the 5.5.5? Yeah. So what is the next hop here? 192.168.35.5.
35.3.
35.5. Okay. So it will come to here. Now here the you know what? For this again it will advertise from R3 to R1. The next stop will be 3.3.3. Okay. Generally, next stop will be 3.3.3. So it will come to R1. So now if you see, right, to reach destination IP address 5.5.5, generally, okay, generally we initiated a ping to 5.5.5. Why these guys are joining very late? Okay, if you see, right, you initiated a ping. Understand very carefully. Okay, you initiated a ping. The destination IP address is 5.5.5. Okay, and the packet arrives on R1 router. And to reach 5.5.5, this is a path. This is the only path, right? First, to reach the 5.5.5, I need to reach the 3.3.3. Yes or no? Hello? To reach
Yes, sir.
5.
Yes, yes.
To reach
Yes, sir.
5.5.5, to reach 5.5.5 here, I need to reach 3.3.3 first. So the packet will to reach 3.3.3. How I should travel? I should travel from R1 to R2. No, packet arrives on R2. It will check the destination IP address. What is the destination IP address? 5.5.5. Now it will check in routing table. Do I have 5.5.5 in routing table? It's a BGP route, right? It's a
Yes.
BGP route, and R2 is a not a BGP. It's a OSPF. I did not configure any BGP. See, do I have any BGP neighborship with R2? No, right? So R2 doesn't have any BGP routing table. It's a BGP route. So hence it's a black hole. In the transit router, there is no path to reach the destination. So to reach the next stop, right, whatever it is, 3.3.3, it doesn't have any route in your BGP routing table. So that's not only BGP routing table, the 5.5.5 is not there at all in routing table. Check it. Do you have it? Show IP route. No, right? 5.5.5 and 4.4.4, all BGP routes are not available. So what you need to do now? There are two things. One thing is you need to configure a BGP neighborship here. That is a later solution. So to answer the question, right, for this BGP synchronization rule. So there is a black hole here because in the transit router there is no BGP, right? So in that situation, the BGP routes, externally learn the BGP routes should learn via OSPF also. It means they have to sync with OSPF. Whatever the routes you are learning externally, it means R1 is learning 4.4.4, R3 is learning 5.5.5. These two external routers should be also seen OSPF. If you want to see BGP routes into OSPF, what we need to do?
Synchronization.
Redistribution.
OSPF
Exactly.
connection.
Exactly. Good puja. Redistribution. Redistribution, right? If you want to advertise one routing protocol route to another routing protocol, what you need to do? Redistribution. Redistribution is the thing, right? So I want to advertise. That is what it is, right? So what is synchronization rule? Whatever the external routes you are receiving, right? Those routes should be seen OSPF as well. Those routes should be sync with OSPF. That is called synchronization rule. If you want to sync with OSPF route, if you want to sync with OSPF, what you need to do? You need to do redistribution. If you want to see all the external information into OSPF, what you need to do? You need to do redistribution. Then, if you do redistribution, right, this 5.5.5 will be available in a routing table. Right? Yes or no? It will
Yes.
available, right? Then it have a route to reach the destination. Okay, that's it. But that is a old thing. So now understand it's very important. So whatever the confusion topic, right, in any technology, interviewer try to ask those questions only to check your logical thinking. So BGP synchronization rule is very easy, but you cannot find a right definition in internet. I am giving you to understand easily. So you will get the definition like if if your IBGP router learns external BGP route, that external BGP route should learn via IGP as well. That is called BGP synchronization rule to avoid the block hole. So what does it mean? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it makes sense, but you cannot understand precisely, right? So here I'm telling you, as per the topology, R1 and R3 receives the external routes, external prefixes. In BGP, we used to call prefixes. Prefixes means routes. So R1, R3 receives the external prefixes. Here, R2 is not a BGP route, right? So to process the packet further, R2 doesn't have any routes in routing table. So that's why we need to see all the external prefixes in IGP protocol. Whatever the IGP protocol you're using it here, you need to see all the external prefixes in IGP. Here it is OSPF. So that's why you have to redistribute all external prefixes into OSPF. Then you don't have any block hole traffic here. Is it clear about BGP synchronization rule? Okay. As per the topology, guys, you don't understand or understood, please answer it. This is a
అన్న
new
ఇది ఐబీజీ
Understood.
Understood.
ఐబీజీపీలో రాగానే డేటాని ఈజీగా యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని అన్నారు కదా.
నేనేం అనలేదు. ఈజీగా యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా అని నేను ఆ వర్డ్స్ యూస్ చేయలేదు. ట్రై టు
బీజీపీ
బీజీపీ
ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్నెట్ ని బీజీపీలో యాక్సెస్ చేస్తే మనం డేటా సెక్యూర్ గా ఉంటుంది, ఐజీపీ అయితే డేటా యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఉంటుందని అన్నారు.
సి యాక్సెస్ సెక్యూర్ అది కాదు భయ వర్డ్స్. ట్రై టు అండర్స్టాండ్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ ఏ బీజీపీ నైబర్షిప్ విత్ పాయింట్ టు పాయింట్ హియర్. ఇక్కడ ఇండైరెక్ట్ గా ఇండైరెక్ట్ నైబర్ అది నువ్వు ఎక్కడితో తీసుకొచ్చి ఎక్కడో మిక్స్ చేస్తున్నావు. నేను చెప్పింది నైబర్షిప్ ఫామ్ చేసుకోవడానికి చెప్పింది అది. ఒక నైబర్షిప్ ఫామ్ చేసుకోవాలి అంటే పాయింట్ టు పాయింట్ ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ తోనే నైబర్షిప్ ఫామ్ చేస్తారు. ఇండైరెక్ట్ తో ఈబీజీపీ నైబర్షిప్ ఫామ్ చేయాలంటే నువ్వు ఒక రౌటింగ్ ప్రోటోకాల్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయాలి, ఐజీపీ. అప్పుడు ఐజీపీ రౌటింగ్ ప్రోటోకాల్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తే నీ ఇంటర్నల్ రౌట్స్ ఇంటర్నెట్ లో కనిపిస్తాయి. ఇట్స్ నాట్ సెక్యూర్ అన్న.
ఎస్ అన్న.
అది డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్. వై ఆర్ యు మిక్సింగ్ దిస్ హియర్? డోంట్
ఓకే.
కన్ఫ్యూజ్ ఇట్. This is what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about neighborship thing. I'm talking about BGP synchronization rule. If you see this topology, here R2 router does not have any BGP neighborship. So it doesn't understand any BGP routes. If it is doesn't understand any BGP routes, it will not install any BGP routes in routing table. So for packet processing, right, the BGP route, EBGP route is a 5.5.5 is a EBGP route. So the packet will come here, this packet, especially this packet. So R2 receives this packet and R2 receives this packet. Okay. So it will check the destination IP address of 5.5.5. This 5.5.5 is not available in routing table, right? It's a BGP route. Whatever it is, BGP or anything, the route is not available. Why? It's a BGP route, and that's why R2 doesn't understand. So R2 is, I didn't configure any BGP neighborship on R2. If you configure, then it will receive the route and there is no issue. Now R2, see, do you have any BGP neighborship here? Show BGP summary. Do you have anything here on R2?
No.
Then why it will understand the BGP routes? There is no route in routing table. So that's why BGP synchronization rule means whatever the external prefixes. What are the external prefixes here? What are the external prefixes? Prefixes in the sense routes.
4.4.4 and 5.5.5.
Very good.
5.5.
4.4.4 and 5.5.5 coming to your Infosys network. These are external. These external prefixes should learn via IGP. What is the IGP protocol we use here?
OSPF.
So
OSPF.
if I want to see this external information into OSPF, what do I need to do?
The
Routing.
BGP
I need to do routing.
we need to
Redistribution.
add.
ఇందాకనే కదా భయ్య చెప్పింది. ఓ ఈ మీరు అసలు ఎక్కడ వింటున్నారో నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు నిజంగా. ఒక్కరో ఇద్దరు ఆన్సర్ కరెక్ట్ గా చేస్తున్నారు. ఐఎమ్ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆర్ టూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఆన్సరింగ్ కరెక్ట్లీ. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సీ BGP routes into OSPF, what you need to do? You have done OSPF lab or not, right? You guys have done OSPF lab. You redistributed BGP into OSPF. You have seen type 5 LSA. Same thing I'm talking here. These are the 4.4.4. These are the 5.5.5. These are the external prefixes. These external prefixes you want to see in OSPF also. What you need to do? You need to do redistribution. On R3 you need to do redistribution, and R1 you need to do redistribution. Once you do redistribution, this 5.5.5 route you will see in OSPF routing protocol, so that there is no issue to process the packet. Understood or not?
Yes or no?
Yes, Anna.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Anna.
This is called BGP synchronization rule. This is a old technology. Even though if it is a old technology, people are trying to ask you, because every interviewer feel like he's a he will give you a build up like I know everything. So you have to answer all the questions, right? This is a legacy thing. No need to ask. They need to ask useful information to the candidates, but they will not. They will try to show off in front of you. They will try to ask you whatever the questions which are logical, which you need to apply more analysis, right? They will ask you those things. That's why I'm telling you. So what is BGP synchronization rule? It's very simple. This is your Infosys campus, and you are receiving external prefixes. Okay, in this Infosys you don't have BGP neighborship with R2 router. These are transit path, right? To reach from R1 to R3, you have only this path. This path. You have only this path. So R2 router is not a BGP router. That is a problem here. R2 router is not a BGP router. It cannot understand any BGP routes. That's why there is no routes in routing table. That's why it is having only IGP, OSPF. See, R2 is having show IP, OSPF neighbors. It is having only OSPF. It will only understand OSPF at the moment. Okay, so you need to redistribute it. Then once you redistribute it, you will have the routes. So to avoid this synchronization rule, right? To avoid this black hole, you need to redistribute it. Or else, what are the things you need to do? You need to establish a neighborship with R2. Okay, let's configure neighborship on R2. What neighborship? BGP neighborship. If you configure a BGP neighborship, you will see the route. There is no black hole. So now I am going to configure a BGP neighborship. Router BGP 200. Guys, are you understood what I said?
Yes or no?
So
Yes, yes.
1.1.1. So remote AS, what is remote AS here? It's same 200. And you need to give one more thing, right? Update source, loopback 0. Okay. So this is 1.1.1, and the same thing. You need to give 2.2.2. Sorry, not 2.2.2.
3.3.3.
Is everyone understood what I'm saying? Guys, this will ask you in each and every interview, this BGP synchronization rule. Very important. Okay. It's very simple. Okay. So generally any routes are receiving, right? It will advertise to the BGP neighbor. It's a BGP route. It will only advertise to BGP neighbor, right? Generally R4 neighbor is R1. R1 receives this route. It will advertise to this neighbor R3. Why it will advertise to R2? Because there is no neighborship. Now I'm forming a neighborship. Then it will advertise, and you don't have any block code. Okay. So the BGP neighborship is done on R2 router. Let's configure on R3. So neighbor 2.2.2. Oh, this is R3. Okay. Neighbor 2.2.2. Remote AS 200. 2.2.2. See, I'm giving multiple commands right here. Okay. This is the one, and R1. Okay. Config terminal router BGP 200. Neighbor. What is the neighbor? R1 2.2.2. Guys, are you understanding what I'm saying? What I'm doing here? I'm just forming a neighborship with R2
Yes or no?
from both the routers
Yes.
to avoid the block hole. Okay. Instead of redistributing, I'm just configuring a neighborship. So next is 3.3.3. 3.3 is already up. 2.2.2. update source, loopback 0. Okay, it's done. So if you see show BGP summary, now it is establishing a neighborship with 2.2.2 also. Yes or no? Earlier it was not there. Now it has a neighborship. Now what it will do? It will advertise. It will advertise to here. Okay. So now there is a problem here. BGP advertising role. Okay. Let me try to answer here. As per the topology, R1 and R5 receives external prefixes. Okay. As 4.4.4 and 5.5.5. These prefixes are not advertised to R2 router because R2 router is a just OSPF router and not a BGP router. Okay, when the packet travels from R1 to R4 to R5, R4 to R5, the traffic gets block hold at R2 router because there is no route to reach the destination in routing table. Understood this theory? So to avoid this block hole, what you do? You need to do the BGP should sync with IGP OSPF. It means all BGP prefixes should advertise into OSPF. Okay, yeah, all BGP prefix should advertise into OSPF. To implement this, what we need to do? We need to do redistribution. Now you understood, guys. Once done, R2 have the routes. Is it done? Is it understandable? This is the BGP synchronization rule definition. As per the topology, I explain it in a clear way. Understood, guys? Hello?
Yes or no?
Okay, just read this. So, is everyone understood BGP synchronization rule? Everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Very important. Please learn it. Okay. Now, I'm going to discuss about BGP advertisement rules. BGP adver.
అన్న ఒక డౌట్
Yes.
యాజ్ పర్ ద టోపాలజీ పక్కన R1 R5 అని పెట్టాం కదా
Oh no. So not R1, R5, R3. This is R3.
క్లియర్ అన్న
R1, R3 is Infosys routers. Okay. So Infosys routers, these are the two Infosys routers. These are receiving external prefixes. Initially, we don't have, you know, R2. R2 is not a BGP peer, so they cannot understand it. That's why we are doing redistribution. So this is one. Another method is configure a BGP peering with R2. It means from R1 to R2, from R3 to R2. So configure EBGP peer, then it's good na? Yeah. So this is the solution. Okay. Now BGP advertisement rules. Listen carefully. So R1 received the external prefix, right, from R4, and this is the next hop. So how it is generated? Everyone understood, right? This is a EBGP route. This is IBGP device. This is IBGP. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
This is IBGP router. This is IBGP router, and this is a EBGP. Between them, this is a EBGP. Okay. Now try to understand R4. If any route is received by any route, external route, EBGP route is received by IBGP route, right? What it will do? It will blindly advertise a route to R2 as well as R3. It peers. Now, what is the R1 peers? See here, I'm on R1. What are the R1 peers? 2.2.2 and 3.3.3. These are the IBGP peers. Okay. The rule is if any EBGP prefix is received by IBGP router, that same EBGP prefix will be advertised to R2, their neighbors, R2 and R3, without changing the next of value. This next of value will be remain same. Okay. It means whatever it receiving is right, like type LSA, same like type LSA. So this is ASBR, you can say. It will advertise the entire OSPF domain, right? Just like that. It won't change anything. So here also, whatever it receives, right? The next of value will be remain same. It will send to here as well as here. So just check in. So just check in R2 BGP table. Guys, we have a BGP routing table in BGP protocol. So what is the BGP table you need to check? Show IP BGP is the table you need to check. See, are you receiving 4.4.4 here? No.
No.
Why it is not receiving here? Because, okay, because I'll tell you why it is not receiving here. Okay, okay. Are we advertising? Okay, let me log in for here. Show run section BGP. Yeah, 4.4.4 we are advertising. So R1 it is received. See, show IP BGP. Why it is not receiving 4.4.4? We should receive from 14.4. Only we are receiving 14.0 network. We are not receiving any 4.4.4. Why? Okay, on R4 I configure show IP interface brief. Yeah, I have configured loopback. So loopback IP I have advertised right here 4.4.4. I have advertised here, and 4.4.4 network should be see here. Okay, let's do one thing. Configure terminal router BGP. What is this? 100, right? Okay, network. So let me remove this network. No network. 4.4.4.0 mask. Okay. So try to configure again network 4.4.4.4 precise thing. Mask. Okay. Okay. Now I have advertised this. Let's see. I'm on R1. Yeah. Now I'm receiving it. Right. So now I'm receiving it. Okay. So 4.4.4 I'm able to receive in my BGP table. This is BGP table. Show IP BGP is the BGP table. In BGP table you have seen that I am receiving 4.4.4 with next hop of what 14.4. That's what we discuss here, right? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's what we discussed here. These are other attributes I'll discuss later. Now, this entire route, it is an external route, right? This is an external EBGP route. This EBGP route will advertise to R2 and R3. So, who is the neighbor? Show IP BGP summary. Who is the neighbors? 2.2.2 and 3.3.3. The same route will be advertised to 2.2.2 and 3.3.3. If you see here, right? Check it now. See, the same route you advertise, right? The next stop remains the same. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Here also, if you see, do show IP BGP, the next stop remains the same. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes or no?
Yes,
Now,
yes, yes.
now just recall the Typhi LSA. It has a route to reach the external prefix, but to reach the Typhi LSA, what LSA you need? One more LSA.
Type 4.
Type LSI.
Yes, type 4 unit, right? Similarly, if you observe closely, right? For 14.14.4, does IBGP routes, your IBGP routes, Infosys IBGP routes are R2 and R3. Does these two routers should have a knowledge of 14.4? It means do you guys are having route to 4, do you have a route to reach 14.4? What does it mean? To reach 4.4.4, you need to reach 14.4. How these two routers come to know to reach 14.4? See, do show IP route. I'm checking the routing table. Do I have 14.4 here? Do I have
No,
14.0
no,
network here? No.
no.
No. Need to
Yes.
advertise that.
You need to
No.
no, you no need to advertise. So there is a technology called, so let me write a advertising rule. Okay, what is advertising rule? If IBGP router receives any EBGP prefix, the prefix, okay, the EBGP prefix will advertise to IBGP internal peers, IBGP internal neighbors. Okay. So it means if IBGP router R1 receives any EBGP prefix, the EBGP prefix will be advertised to IBGP internal neighbors called R2 and R3. Okay. However, the next hop remains same. Hence, the route is not installing the routing table. If you see, right, if you see, so I'm on R3. So do you have, is it installing 4.4.4 here? No, because if you see, right, do show IP BGP, this is 4.4.4, we are receiving it. You don't have reachability to the next hop. If you ping to do ping 192.168.14.4, it's not pinging. If you don't have reachability to the next hop, the route will not be installed in your routing table. Understood? Anyhow, you have the route in BGP. You have a BGP route in BGP table, but the thing is, whatever the next hop, right? The next hop should be reachable. Then only it will install into the routing table. Without reaching next hop, how come it will? How come the packet will send to 4.4.4? You need to reach next hop. So this is the problem here. To avoid this problem, what we have to configure? BGP next hop self. So BGP next hop self, you need to configure it. Where you need to configure? You need to configure on R1 as well as R3. So if you configure BGP next hop self on where you need to configure? You need to configure on their internal neighbors. So go on R1. So what are the internal neighbors? 2.2.2. So if you configure a BGP next hop self, what it will do? What exactly it will do? So it will change the next of value as self. What is the R1 neighbor IP for R2 and R3? For R2, for R1, show BGP summary. What is the neighbor for R1? 1.1.1, right?
Not one of them. Yes.
And for R3 also, what is the neighbor?
1.1.1.
1.1.1. So now, if you configure a next of self, right? Whatever the neighbor you have configured, right? Whatever the neighbor you have it, the neighbor will be replaced. It means you can see, right, now it is having 4.4.4, right? This 4.4.4 will be with the next of value, it is advertising it. So if you configure a next of self, this next of value will be removed and it will replace with 1.1.1. If the next of value 1.1.1, this R2 and R3 have reachability to 1.1. Right? R2 and R1 have reachability to 1.1.1.
Yes,
See R3, do you have, just check, show, do ping 1.1.1. You have reachability. It's running via OSPF internally. Yes or no?
yes, no.
So that's why next hop self. What do you mean by next hop self? Whatever the IBGP router receives a EBGP prefix, it will advertise to internal BGP routers. Okay, internal BGP PS. However, the next hop value remains the same. That's why the external routes are not reachable. They are not installing in your routing table. That's why They are not installing in your routing table because this next hop value we are not able to reach. The R2 is not able to reach. So what you need to do on the edge routers on R1, you need to configure a next hop self. Okay, go to the router BGP. What is that router BGP? 200. Now neighbor, who is the neighbor? You are telling to neighbor, hey,
2.2.
whatever the routes I am sending to you, right? I am the next hop self for it. That's it. Another one is 3.3.3. Just announcing yourself as a next hop self. Now you announce next hop self, right, for these two neighbors. Now go to the R2 here. It was showing 14.4, right? Now it will replace with 1.1.1. So it will take some time, guys. See, now it is 14.4, right? It will update with the route. Just it will take 60 seconds to update. And now it will show you with 1.1.1. Do show IP BGP. It will replace with 1.1.1. Yeah, now it replaced, right? Right? Now it is replaced. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now it
sir.
is replaced. So now let me try. Now it is replaced. Now to reach 4.4 to O, we need to reach first. Next stop is
Only about
R1. You have reachability to R1, right? Now you are able to see the route, show IP route. You were able to see in routing table. Are you able to see now routing table? Okay.
yes sir.
This is a IBGP route. So for IBGP route, the administrative distance is 200. For EBGP route, the administrative distance is 20.
20.
Understood? Yeah. So that is the importance of next hop self. Is it clear, guys?
Yes or
Hello.
no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Now
sir.
if I want to ping 4.4.4, I'm not able to ping. So why I'm not able to ping? Let's understand why we are not able to ping from R2 to 4.4.4. So you have route in R2 4.4.4, but this is a 1.2, right? What is the source IP here? It is 1.2. When sending a packet from any router to destination, right, it will take a exit interface, right? Exit interface it is taking as 1.2. Hello, can you hear me? It
Yes
is
or no?
it is learning via
Yeah,
this
1.1.
1. So it is here 1.2. So
Yes or no?
now R4 should have a 1.2 network. Do show IP route. Do you have 1.2 network here? No, right? What you need to do? This 1.0 network, this 23.0 network should be advertised in BGP. So you can advertise in BGP here. Router, configure terminal, router BGP. That's why Pooja you are not able to ping. Understood now? Hello, Pooja, are you here? So network 192.168.1.0 and the mask 255.255.255.0. And one more network what you need to advertise 23. You can advertise anywhere, anywhere, any router, okay, wherever the router it is, you can just advertise it. So now 1.0 to 23.0 advertise. Now you will see here 1.0 network. Are you seeing now? Right, 1.0 network you're able to see. Earlier I was not able to see. Now I advertised it, I am able to see via EBGB administrative distance is 20. Now if you try to ping 4.4.4, it will ping. Okay, let's
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
do ping 4.4.4. Now it is pinging. Earlier you are not able to ping means both the sides you should have a route. Whatever the sending route you are sending, right, 1.0 network that should be there, and
Okay,
you're
okay.
only checking the destination IP. You have to check the reverse route as well. While sending out, right, R4 will give a ICMP echo reply. For reply, the destination is 1.2, but 1.0 network is not there, so that's why it is not pinging at initially. Now it is pinging. Now R3, go R3, do show IP BGP here. You're not receiving any 5.5.5 here. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I need to check here. So no network. I need to remove this. Where is the network? I need to remove this. So network 5.5.5.5 and the mask 255.255. Okay. Now on R3 you will receive it. 5.5.5 you are able to receive it, yes or no, right? 5.5.5 you are able to receive it, but this R2 and R1 it's not able to receive it. Do show IP BGP. See why? It is receiving it, but the next hop is remains same. This network doesn't have the reachability to 35.5. So what you need to do on R3, you need to configure next hop self, right? Neighbor 1.1.1.1 next hop self. Another one is 2.2.2 next hop self. That's it. It's done. Now you can see on R1. So here it will be neighbor will be 3.3.3. Then you will able to see the route 5.5.5 in your routing table after 60 seconds or something. Okay. Yeah. So this is all about next hop self. Okay. And I have to discuss about BGP synchronization rule and BGP path manipulation. Not path manipulation, BGP base path prepending. Okay, those two things I will explain. It will take 5 minutes of time. Then after we'll wrap up it. Okay, yeah. See now it is changed, right? 3.3.3. Now if you see do show IP route, you will have a 5.5.5 here. Now try to ping 5.5.5 here. It's pinging now. Is it clear? Yeah, that's all about. So let's save the configuration. So configuration part is done, and the most every every interviewer can ask this these two questions. Currently, I'm going to tell you what is the two questions. So the major problem in routing protocols. What is that? The major problem in routing protocols. What is the major problem in routing protocols? Can anyone tell me?
Loops.
Very good. Loops. Loops. So how we will avoid the loops in OSPF? Can anyone tell me?
స్టబ్ ఏరియాస్ తోటి
No, no. Stub is different, man.
ఏరియాస్ నుంచి అంటున్నా.
Areas నుంచి కాదు. Areas just minimize the databases. How we will avoid the loops? Recall it. At least one person.
DRBDR reduction.
Why by DRBDR elections? Why this comes to the picture, man? No, wrong answer. I told you right. Very important thing. Why we need areas? Why we call area 0 as a backbone area? Why we call area 0 as a backbone area? At least can you please tell that? Come on, Jude.
Avoid the loops and avoid the loops.
That's it. So who will avoid the loops? How in OSPF avoid the loops?
రౌట్స్ అన్ని
No,
ఏరియా జీరో.
man. Uh, just I don't need any explanation. Just tell the simple answer. Just now you told, right? Someone told area
The
0.
R2 as a backbone area in this.
Yeah,
Protocol.
protocol. చెప్పండి అయ్యా
Protocol.
ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు ఆన్సర్లు చెప్పండి ఇంటర్వ్యూర్ అసలు దేక కూడా దేకడు అసలు రాకపోతే సైలెంట్గా ఉండడమే బెటర్ ఇంటర్వ్యూవర్లో ఇక్కడ కాదు సో మిమ్మల్ని ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలో అలా ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తున్నాను నేను అసలు ఓఎస్పిఎఫ్ఏ చదవలేదా మీరు అయిపోయి కూడా జమానా కాలమైంది మార్చ్ 10th బ్యాచ్ అయితే రీసెంట్గానే అయిపోయింది ఒక్కరు కూడా ఆన్సర్ చేయట్లేదు ఓఎస్పిఎఫ్ 2 days back we have completed OSPF, right? March 10th batch, guys. Why are you not answering it? Are you not preparing every day? సరే ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వకపోయినా పర్లేదు క్లాస్లో వినింటే చెప్తారు కదా వై వి నీడ్ ఏరియా జీరో యాజ్ అ బ్యాక్ బోన్ ఏరియా జీరో అవాయిడ్ ద లూప్స్ వాట్ ఈస్ మై క్వశ్చన్ హౌ వి విల్ అవాయిడ్ ద లూప్స్ ఇన్ ఓఎస్పిఎఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు టెల్ ఏరియా జీరో బై యూజింగ్ ఏరియా జీరో సింపుల్ come on guys be serious about the topics okay be serious this BGP is not part of CCNA I'm telling you with so much of passion you have to learn it because BGP is the thing I can take a separate CCNP classes I can teach this BGP but it's not that case right this is the industrial training you have to learn BGP if you learn BGP You will get a huge packages. Okay, you will get more importance on this. BGP is the internet, right? So we need IGP protocol to learn BGP. That's why I told you OSPF, for 4 days. You have to learn OSPF deeply. Okay. So OSPF, how it will avoid the loops in OSPF, I already explained it. Just go there and watch it. Okay. Just try to understand the concepts. So in here also, in BGP protocol also, it will avoid the loops. So how it will avoid the loops? There are some loops, some rules. So BGP loop avoidance mechanism. So how many BGPs are here? One is GBGP, another one is IBGP. Okay. So how exactly the loops will occur? How it will avoid? Tomorrow I will tell you, not now. Okay. I'm not getting a proper response, so I'm not satisfied actually. If I tell you today, right? There is no such a make sense. Okay, so please learn about OSPF loop avoidance mechanism, and tomorrow I will continue. Okay, so I don't want to teach, and if you don't understand the things, if I teach, right, that doesn't make any sense, right? No problem, we'll go slow by slow. Okay, so whatever I discussed today, have you understood those two? Only two things I have discussed today. One is BGP synchronization rule, another one is BGP next stop self. Have you understood these two,
Yes, Anna.
everyone?
Yes.
So please prepare these
Yes,
two.
Anna.
Yeah, please prepare these two and complete this lab. So if I want to ping from R4 to R5, you have to ping. So I'm on R4. I'm going to ping 5.5.5.5. I'm able to ping. Yes or no? From Tata to Airtel, I'm successfully able to ping. Okay. So if anyone asking, Anna, ping is not happening, do not ask such a question. Verify your end. Trace the path. Check the routing table. First thing is check the route in routing table. If the route is not there in routing table, advertise the route. Okay. So you guys are concentrating on the destination route only. So it means you guys are concentrating only the 5.5.5, 4.4.4 only loopbacks. You have to concentrate on the networks. So what are the paths? What is the path to reach from R4 to R5? This is the path. How many networks are here involved? 14.0, 1.0, 23.0, 35.0. All these networks should be available in your routing table. Then only it reach. You're traveling from one location to another location. This is a road. If there is no road between some between two places, how can you travel? Right? This path should be clear. It means this path routes whatever the networks are here, right? That should be there in your routing table. Then only you are able to reach. Okay. So try to advertise these networks also and check it. Okay, path by path you have to check it whether you advertise it or not. Okay, so implement this lab. Try to understand BGP synchronization rule, BGP advertisement rule, and next stop self. Okay, so this is it, and tomorrow I will discuss about BGP path, BGP what is that, BGP loop avoidance mechanism, and BGP path manipulation. I will give you one more real-time project tomorrow. The main thing, BGP path manipulation using route maps and ACLs. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss. Okay. Yeah. So please prepare well. Please prepare OSPF loop avoidance mechanism and here as well. Guys, what in interviewer will ask you in product-based companies, they will ask you the problems in networking. Each and every protocol, they have their own problems. Okay, they will ask you the problems and they will ask you how to resolve those problems. Okay, you have to prepare, because in real time, real world, you will get a issues on that. So interviewer is asking if the issue, if we are getting this issue, whether he is able to resolve or not, he will check, right? Okay, so please try to learn the things at packet level, at a conceptual level. Okay, so try to watch the recorded session one more time, get a clarity and leave it. You no need to learn again. If you once you get a clarity on the concept, you no need to learn again and again. Just make a short notes based on how you remember the things, right? Just make a notes by your own. That's it. Okay, You no need to learn again and again. Okay na? I'm requesting you everyone, whatever I'm teaching in BGP, which is very 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 important, please learn it. Okay, tomorrow I will ask you all the questions. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.